You guys can't miss out on Modern Warfare 3 Zombies when it finally releases. Now, I've spoken extensively about how Call of Duty's new version of Zombies might end up being a fan favorite, even though a lot of you guys who are traditional Zombies fans don't enjoy it and want Treyarch's round-based version of Zombies to return. And I'm sure it probably will, likely in 2025 when Treyarch are heading up their own title, but for now, when Modern Warfare 3 Zombies releases, a lot of people haven't realized that this is releasing with the official global launch of the game on November 9th, meaning that you will get to play Warzone's new map Urzikstan amongst a number of other things before the formal release of that later on in December. I've got more exclusive Modern Warfare Zombies gameplay for you here today. We're going to talk about all of these incredible things coming to Modern Warfare Zombies that I think you should be on the lookout for, and how they're going to give you the edge not only in Warzone, but also in a couple of other ways. So if you enjoy this footage, if you enjoy this gameplay, please do drop a like and subscribe as well. We're on the road to 200k, and I'd love to chat with you guys in the comments section and see you in live streams as well. So the first obvious reason to play Zombies when it releases is you're getting a month's worth of early access to the new map Urzikstan. Now, without a doubt, when it comes to Battle Royale, and especially Warzone, the biggest learning curve is the map, because the map dictates the flow of gameplay. Every little minor jump up, every little positional rotation, and all of those areas that you will learn about being good for gunfights and bad for gunfights is going to come from Urzikstan. As somebody who considers myself a higher skilled player, and yes, rinse me in the comment section for saying that, the difference between winning and losing a lot of gunfights in Call of Duty is getting the drop on somebody and surprising somebody. So if you have a whole month's head start on learning different positions and rotations, learning those crazy jump up spots and jump offs that are going to be huge for rotations, then you are without a doubt going to have a massive head start on everybody else who joins to play in December. I personally am going to be spending a fair amount of my time in Zombies learning different points of interest in terms of positioning, learning how they work, how they flow, and how they could flow in a Warzone environment. And I'll also be spending a lot of time looking at different buildings in the game in terms of how defendable they are. Do they have the most amount of height in the area? Are they something that I can use to lock down a position? And finally, I'll be looking at areas that I want to avoid. There are areas in Al Mazrah right now, especially towards Rohan Oil and the Oasis area, where if you get caught out in the open, you are as good as dead. And learning that those locations are not places you want to be in the new map are going to be big advantages for everybody who plays Warzone. But what if you're somebody who's just interested in the Zombies experience? What is in it for you? And the good answer to that is that there is going to be a huge number of mastery camos in the new Call of Duty by the looks of things. As it presently stands right now from information that's been leaked or accidentally revealed in the beta, there could be somewhere between 12 to 16 mastery camos in the new Call of Duty. 4 of them will be for Modern Warfare 3 weapons from multiplayer, another 4 of them will be for Modern Warfare 2 weapons from multiplayer, and then 4 of them will be for Zombies for Modern Warfare 3 weapons, and then 4 of them will also be for Modern Warfare 2 weapons in Zombies, meaning that there's going to be a whole ecosystem of 2 generations of weapons potentially receiving mastery camos, and at least half of those are going to be Zombies exclusive. And as it presently stands, we have no idea how many potential blueprints for weapons, customization options, or things that you could find in the game in Zombies could be transferable to items you can use across Call of Duty. We've seen it time and time again now in DMZ that completing certain missions would unlock certain camos and certain blueprints, and undoubtedly that is going to be the case again. If you want to incentivize people playing Zombies, not only do you give them lots of mastery camos to work away with, but you also hand them on a silver plate various different blueprints, various different operator skins, and things that will be exclusive to that mode. And I, without a doubt, guarantee you that you're going to see a few of those at launch, and lots more of them throughout the progression of the game. It would be silly not to mention Call of Duty Zombies without mentioning weapon leveling. It's without a doubt the most frustrating part of any new Call of Duty game, and a little bit more and less so this year, because certain attachments are locked behind certain weapons, and you will have to level up those guns to use that attachment across all of your guns. And there are some of them that look really good. For example, there is a suppressor that not only increases bullet velocity, but hides you from the minimap, which is a component of Modern Warfare 3 and Zombies, and by the looks of things, doesn't have an ADS penalty. And there are going to be a number of attachments which are just universally worth having, whether that's for multiplayer or for Warzone, and at the moment, from the looks of things, Zombies will be the perfect place to be. You get 25 XP for every zombie kill, 25 XP for every single mercenary kill, and you get more XP depending on the difficulty of the challenger ahead of you. But if you just wanted to spend your time mowing down low-level zombies and gaining lots of XP for it, you could absolutely do that. And considering it's an hour long before you have to back out, it means less time waiting for lobbies, less time queuing for things, and if you're using double XP tokens, a whole hour's worth of gameplay without the double XP token being wasted on anything else, like loading screens and waiting screens. The next major thing to talk about is something that I feel is going to be a generational improvement on Call of Duty and something you're going to see a lot of going forward in the future, and that is secretive missions and boss battles. Call of Duty has started incentivizing doing certain things in game with rewards, and they've started doing it really well. The recent Halloween event had you fighting different bosses that you had to teleport into in order to achieve certain skins, unlocks, and other things. And that is something that's being tested to the next level in zombies. We already know for a fact that there is at least one kind of fight that will require you teleporting to a different map that isn't anywhere on Urzikstan. And because it's zombies, without a doubt these things are going to get wacky and crazy, whether it's building secret super weapons, unlocking blueprints, or competing some kind of boss battle. This is something I see them doing a lot of in this Call of Duty, and I think it's a reason to play the game in my opinion. Undoubtedly, it took a lot of development work to figure out how to do those things and move somebody from one map to another map, give them something to do, and then complete it with some kind of task. And you don't just throw away that kind of technology and not utilize it, especially considering we've already seen it in Modern Warfare Zombies, and now we've seen it in Warzone 2.0 as well. Whether it's in Season 1 or just after Season 1, I think we're going to see a lot of these things come into the game, and I think some of them are going to have some really good rewards, but also, they will just be unique events that are unique to zombies. Things that you won't really necessarily see in Warzone or multiplayer, and things that will just be worth doing. The kind of limited time mode events that you would get from a certain Halloween event or a certain calendar event could be something you could consistently do in zombies every single season. And like I mentioned before, with weapon XP leveling, with battle pass leveling, with individual character leveling, I feel as though zombies is going to be the perfect hub to do all of these things with very little trouble. And the final reason is without a doubt the only reason I think everybody should give this a go. And that is because this is the last ever element really of Call of Duty that won't have some kind of pre-existing matchmaking mechanism or skill-based matchmaking mechanism. I'm all for skill-based matchmaking, especially in terms of protecting casual players who are just trying to have a bit of fun in the evening and don't want to get dunked on by a mega sweat like me. But I do disagree with how Call of Duty has implemented it, because I feel like whether you're really good or really bad, it feels like you're constantly up against people who are very switched on. And there's just no way to escape that, whether it's multiplayer or Warzone, unless you're willing to break boundaries, mess with routers, and play with VPNs, there's just no way to change that existing situation and setup. And I think that's a huge disappointment. I don't feel like you can play Call of Duty casually anymore like you could back in the day. Like, I have vivid memories of sitting in front of a screen, a TV, whatever it so happened to be, listening to some music, barely paying attention, and having a decent time. And that's just not something you can really do anymore. It feels like you're constantly up against mega sweats, constantly up against people with their headsets in and their gameplay switched on, and I feel like the dynamic of Call of Duty just means that casual gameplay, or at least just messing around with friends, just isn't there anymore. It's not something you can do. And that's why Zombies, in my opinion, is going to be special. It's going to be a fun mode for you to jump in with your mates, not really have to think really hard or necessarily sweat really hard unless you're going for boss battles or some of the more challenging zones in the map, and just have fun in a Call of Duty setting. Now, I didn't like DMZ, it wasn't a mode for me and it wasn't something that I personally enjoyed, but Zombies does kind of tickle my fancy. But the one thing that I always heard from avid DMZ players was that it was the one place where they could just mess around with their friends without some mega sweat 360ing them every 5 seconds. And I fully understand that, and I think that's a very special element of gameplay that has kind of been gone from Call of Duty for so long, and the fact that we had it back in DMZ, and now we might be losing it again, but thankfully it could be recovered with Zombies, is something that I think is really important. It's really special. And if you want to play Call of Duty on the new map, with the new weapons, doing cool things with your friends, without the fear of some geezer like me on a bloody overly expensive setup ruining your day, then this is the perfect mode for you. It's going to be the one way you can kick your feet up and just chill out with your mates. So folks, that's about it from me today. If you enjoyed this video, let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section down below. Please do drop a like, make sure to subscribe if you want to see lots of new content, deep dives and everything in between, and I'll catch you again in the next one.